Man, oh man, oh man, oh man. What a great day to be a Longhorns fan, right? Yeah, it is. Number 8 Texas basketball team goes on the road to Lawrence, Kansas and absolutely demolishes number 3 Kansas. I wasn't expecting that. Our basketball team's legit. And of course, what we're all here for is Tom Herman has finally been fired as head coach of the University of Texas. And I'm not going to lie, I was kind of surprised when I saw that because there was reports that came out that Urban Meyer was not going to come to Texas, that he declined to offer to come to Texas for health reasons and whatever else, right? So I was like, okay, we're just going to run it back with Tom Herman one more year. And granted, Tom Herman, we've given him a lot of criticism over the 4 years, but he's an improvement of what we had before. If you really think about it, Charlie Strong couldn't even get to a bowl game. Tom Herman's doing way better than what Charlie Strong did at Texas. Tom Herman did a way better job of what Mac Brown did in his final 4 years at Texas. I don't want to say a way better job, but he was better than what Mac Brown did. He took us to a Big 12 championship game. We're 4-0 in bowl games. Meanwhile, Charlie Strong couldn't even get us to a bowl game. And I thought we might have pulled the trigger a little bit too early. But I mean, we'll see, man. We are electing to hire Steve Sarkisian as the replacement head coach at the University of Texas, Alabama offensive coordinator. I'm pretty sure he's going to coach the national championship game. I'm excited about this hire. It's kind of questionable in my opinion because, I mean, he wasn't a candidate that I had on my list. I just really wasn't thinking about Steve Sarkisian when it came to who would replace Tom Herman as head coach, but he does have a lot of good things with him, and he does have a lot of bad things with him. Let's talk about the good first. I mean, our offense might actually be consistent for once, might actually be explosive for an extended period of time. You see what he's done with Alabama these past couple years. You saw what he did with the Falcons. He was the offensive coordinator when the Falcons went to the Super Bowl and whatnot. And, I mean, this guy just knows his football. Now, off the field stuff is where we have some problems with Steve Sarkisian. Obviously, the big thing was the alcoholic drunk thing at USC. I didn't look too much into that story, but I do remember that happening at USC. He got let go only after, a year in some games. And then he was fired. Clay Helton was hired, and USC just took over from there. But, hopefully he hones that in coming to Texas. Hopefully he's learned and has become better, more accountable, more responsible for what he does and things of that nature. But the offense, our offense, it has a lot of potential. So I'll just say this. You see what he's doing with Najee Harris. We have a guy that's just as talented as Najee Harris and Bijan Robinson, right? Imagine what Bijan Robinson could do next year. You know what I mean? We're all talking about, Bijan Robinson, Heisman candidate 2021. Well, in all likelihood, Tom Herman probably would have played him less. We know what Tom Herman would have done with Bijan. Now with Steve Sarkisian here, just imagine what Bijan can do. And then not only that, the quarterback, everyone was talking about Mac Jones. Coming into the season, everyone's saying Mac Jones was just a game manager, was just a guy that they were even saying Bryce Young should start over Mac Jones. And guess what? Mac Jones is possibly going to win the Heisman. Why? That's in large part of Steve Sarkisian's offense. So, I mean, compare that with what we have. The Mac Jones, Casey Thompson, whoever's more talented, you can flip a coin or whatever. I have to wait and see who's actually better out of Mac Jones and Casey Thompson. But, Steve Sarkisian has shown that ability to take whichever quarterback he has and turn him into a star. And then you saw all those wide receivers. Just when you watch Alabama on a weekly basis, all of their receivers get wide open. And I know Devontae Smith's great, Jalen Waddle's great, Jerry Jeudy was great, Henry Ruggs was great. All these guys are great, but Steve Sarkisian's offense makes them look really, really good, man. Like, they're running wide open a lot of the time, and it's easy pitch and catch for the quarterback and the wide receiver. And then implement the running game to that, it's unstoppable. Now, Obviously we have a good amount of talent, not as much as Alabama, but I mean we have more talent than 90%, 95% of the rest of college football. So Steve Sarkisian should have no excuse there. It's just going to be a matter of, getting used to each other, getting adjusted, all of those first year things that, coaches and players have to go through. And speaking of coach and players, the relationship between the coach and player is going to be a huge, huge thing. Tom Herman, we can say whatever we want about Tom Herman, how he underperforms in big time games, how he is not recruiting as well as he needs to be, he's not developing guys as well as he needs to be. The players love him. The players love Tom Herman. Like, he has that locker room, man. Like how Charlie Strong had the locker room, no matter how bad Charlie Strong was, he had the locker room. Those players loved him. Those players loved to play for him, And it's the same thing with Tom Herman. Coming in with Steve Sarkisian now, it's going to be a huge question mark as to, obviously we got to see who elects to transfer, who elects to decommit with all the recruits and all that. We're going to see if Steve Sarkisian can win this locker room over. The question is, does Steve Sarkisian have that type of personality to really galvanize the locker room? And we're going to see if those guys in the locker room will want to play for Steve Sarkisian, or are they just playing for themselves, or we're just going to see. But I don't think Steve Sarkisian has that personality. I don't want to judge too early, but we'll see. I don't know if he's that players coach type guy. We're gonna wait and see, man. We're gonna see what's next for the University of Texas. I forgot to mention Steve Sarkisian. It's gonna be interesting to see his staff that he comes up with. Hopefully Chris Ash stays. This could be a really great situation if he keeps Chris Ash. Defense has came along over the course of the year, and that was our strong suit by the end of the year. Whereas in game 2 versus Texas Tech, giving up 50+ points. Every week passed by, and we're getting better and better and better and better. Osai, Overshone, all these guys just got better over the course of the year, and the product at the end of the year is pretty good defensively. We have a lot of talent. We have a lot of really, really good players that make a lot of plays. So hopefully, Sark doesn't mess up that momentum with Chris Ash. Hopefully. We need to stop firing all these coaches every single year and just stick it out sometimes. Sometimes you just got to stick it out and see what you got. That reason why I didn't think Herman should have been fired was because, yeah, you can say whatever you want about Herman, but this was the first year at Mike Yurcich and Chris Ash. This is the first year of new coordinators, and this is his third round of coordinators at Texas, and, it was coming along, at least defensively. Offensively, it was looking really bad, but defensively, we came along Chris Ash. Hopefully he stays. Steve Sarkisian, he can fire Mike Yurcich. You can call the play Sark, all right? I'll be perfectly fine with that. But Chris Ash, I would like for him to keep. It's going to be interesting to see who Sark brings in. Stan Drayton is great. He needs to stay. But we'll see. The offensive line is really, really good. Really, really good, actually. But that's going to wrap it up, man. Let me know your thoughts about Texas. Did we make the right decision by firing Herman? Did we make the right hire with Steve Sarkisian? Let me know. This is Jimmy from Just the Facts, and I'm signing out. Peace.